Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to talk about attitude and the attitude you display in certain places and what you choose to display, and are you displaying the right attitude uh, to get what you want or actually get what you're striving to achieve. So in the past, I've worked at large companies, I've worked at small companies, and the one thing I see across all companies, especially in companies where I've done consulting and things of that nature that have issues when I go in. I was on LinkedIn earlier today and had a conversation, and I made a post that actually that matters. So we'll talk about that some briefly. But the reason I made the post was there was a gentleman that was talking about toxic culture and talking about situations where companies uh, have a situation where they have people turning over left and right and they can't stop it. It's been a plague on a lot of companies for the last 20 years, the last 5 years specifically, though, especially with the new workforce. You have a new generation of people entering the workforce, and this particular group has been much more protected socially because a lot of social media now, a lot of phones and technologies that allow these people to engage at a higher level than maybe they're mentally prepared to do. So they're having communication with multiple people across multiple communication streams. Um, and around that is the attitude. So a lot of times these people unfortunately believe that opinion matters. And when they enter the workforce, they're in a real world, and they're in a position where they're starting at a lower position because they're new, they're young, right? They're having a hard time figuring out until it's too late. The attitude that you put forth is how you're going to be treated. So if you go out into a place and you're putting forth the wrong attitude, what's going to happen is people are going to shut down and not want to help you. Well, in a work situation, that could be detrimental because those people are the ones who are going to train you. Those people are going to correct you along the way. And for you to be a stellar employee, you have to be meeting the expectations as desired. Well, to do that, you have to put forth the proper attitude so people communicate to you effectively to then train and teach you how to do things. If your attitude is a know it all attitude, then you're not going to learn anything because you already think you know it all. And the issue with that is, especially when you're starting a job, that could be dangerous, right? If you work in a plant or you work in some type of production facility or environment, if you don't listen to these things that these tenured people are telling you, it could be life threatening. You could put yourself in a position that's dangerous for you and and the people that work with you. So number one is that you need to take responsibility for your attitude. If you don't know if you have a good attitude or not, if you don't look at how people are responding to you. Um, I always say go and observe for a few days before you start talking and sharing. Keep your mouth shut, right? Find out what's going on around you. The people at work are not your friends, they're your coworkers, so they matter. They're important. But at the end of the day, if you're not trying to understand what you need to do first and foremost, because what you want to do is you want to carry your own weight. In any job site, you want to carry your own weight. If you're able to start at a place and very quickly have an impact on the workload that the team is doing and carry your own weight, that's a proper attitude. Go in to look to serve others by removing what you can from their burden and making it yours. So that's number one, is take responsibility for your attitude. The next is decide on how to observe and then change what may be considered a bad attitude. If you have to take responsibility for how you're responding to people, but you have to understand what a bad attitude is, that doesn't necessarily that you mean that you're angry or treating people poorly or doing things like that. But if you already act or talk or conduct yourself like a person that you want to become, that will be better. But first, you have to see what you're doing. So if you're complaining a lot, that's not a good way to go. If you're complaining a lot, you'll be listed as a complainer. People will know that you're a complainer, and people won't be around you because complaining people that complain are not doing anything to resolve issues. What they're doing is complaining about the issues, which perpetuates and continues the issue. It doesn't have an effect that makes the situation better. So don't be a complainer. Don't be an angry person. Don't be the person that wears your emotions on your sleeve. The goal in life as you get older specifically should be to get to the point where things don't bother you at all. Unfortunately, you're going to have to learn that lesson through going through a lot to build up experiences where you realize emotion doesn't matter anyway because it's not going to affect the results. One of the best quotes around this is Abraham Lincoln. He was talking about if people really understood how important they are, then they just have to take a look at how quickly people forget you after you die. So that is an amazing quote, an amazing way to see it, that days after you die, life goes on, the world goes on. People may mourn you and they may miss you, but the idea is that things keep on going, the world keeps on going. So your attitude should be in a way where you're appreciative and you're grateful for the day. And however you woke up this morning, you still woke up. So an attitude of gratitude is the best way to go out and see the world. And so it's like Ralph Waldo Emerson said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. So what you think and feel and how you project what you think and feel through your attitude matters, because that's going to determine how people respond to you, and ultimately it's going to determine how successful you are. So one of the main secrets, or the main points that I would say, if you value people, or at least if you act like you value people and you value their time, one of the best things you can do to compliment a person is show that you value their time. So don't waste their time by complaining. I always tell people, don't complain or explain, right? If you're complaining, you're not doing anything to fix the problem. And if you're explaining to someone what the situation is, they didn't care enough to help you fix it in the first place. So there's no reason to complain or explain, because it's not going to have an impact on the end result. But maintaining a good attitude by valuing people and encouraging others through whatever they're going through and helping them remove a burden would show people that you have a positive attitude and you're there to be a help. And you should be of good help, and you should make each day count. That's what you want to wake up and do. Make each day count and try to improve the world and improve your situation more as best you can from the day before. So that's just a little short piece on attitude. Happiness is something you decide ahead of time. It's a choice. How you view things is a choice. If you start from an attitude of gratitude and you're appreciative of your job, you're appreciative of those that are helping you in your job, you're appreciative of your friends and families, those things matter. And every day you want to make the necessary adjustments to keep your attitude right. If you can do that, you'll be successful in a lot of situations where other people aren't, even when it's hard. The difference between a winning team that can get through tough times and teams that struggle and fail is that a winning team, no matter what they're up against, they have the proper attitude, knowing that we'll take this a piece at a time and we'll get through this just like we've gotten through everything else. And that's how tenured teams, specifically in work type environments, succeed over teams that cannot. It's all about attitude. So if you like content such as this and subjects such as these, please subscribe. Today's talk came from John C. Maxwell's Make Today Count. I'll start doing more videos, shorter videos from his stuff, because there's so much good stuff in the content that reviewing the book really just doesn't do it justice, because there's too many points in it that would be useful to you. So please subscribe, please share. I'm Ben. Be good.